And we're back. That didn't take too long. So what this next part is, okay, let me explain this so that you guys have a better understanding. This was what you guys just did for your Angry Birds project, okay? When I gave you guys standard vertex intercept form to complete. Now I have 3 practice problems here in the review. On the test, I'm going to have you guys complete one of these, okay? I'm not going to tell you which one, so I have a general idea. Here's the good news. Both standard and vertex form are basically the same thing. The only thing different is that you have to foil for this one. Intercept one's just on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and just do all 3 of these for you guys. I'm going to start off by doing standard form. Okay. Standard form, here is my HK. Alright, it's my vertex. Your vertex is always your HK. The other point is your XY. I'm going to use x minus h squared plus k. Right? And I'm going to have these written on the board for you. I'm plugging everything in. For y, I put in negative 8. A, my x is negative 1. My h is negative 5.5. And my k is 12.25. Okay, now we solve this. So bear with me, because there's a lot of decimals here. Just kidding, made a mistake. When you have negative 5.5 and you're plugging that in for your h, it's minus it, so this becomes a plus. Just wanted to make sure we're cool with that. Okay, so now I'm going to subtract over the 12.25. Okay, negative 8 minus 12.25, and I get negative 20.25 equals a. Now here, in parentheses, I can put negative 1 plus 5.5. Don't make that silly mistake I made. And I get 20.25. Much better. Okay. Now, if I divide both sides by 20.25, I get my a is negative 1. So we're very close here. Okay. What I can then do is you plug everything back into your original up here, except I leave the y and the x. So negative 1, x plus 5.5 squared, and then plus 12.25. So here's the tough one. This is for standard. Okay. I have to FOIL this out. So I'm going to get negative 1, x plus 5.5 times x plus 5.5 plus 12.25. I'm going to then go ahead and FOIL this out. So I get y equals negative 1, x squared. 5.5x plus 5.5x is 11x. And then 5.5 squared is 30.25. Okay, and lastly, if I distribute this negative sign across, I get y equals negative x squared minus 11x minus 30.25, but I have to add the 12.25 to it, so then negative 18. Okay, so we're all good. That's the hardest one you can get. Alright, I mean, clearly you can see there's some decimals involved there. You have to be careful with your foiling, all as well. Make sure you know how to foil for the test. So, that was for our first one. Our second one, number 10, vertex. This was number 9. This is a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm still using my vertex form. The vertex is HK. My other point is my XY. Now, when I plug stuff in here, 8 equals a. My x is 2 minus my h is 5 squared plus 2. Okay. If I subtract the 2 over, I'm going to get 6 equals a, negative 3 squared. 6 equals 9a. A equals 2/3. How did I get 2/3? 6 divided by 9 is 2/3. Reduce it down. When I plug this back in, y equals, okay, y equals 2/3. I have no room over here, I apologize. 2/3 x minus 5 squared plus 2. We are done. That's vertex form. It's so nice. Okay, it's really, really nice. Okay, if they would ask you to turn that into standard form, you'd FOIL it out, distribute the 2/3, boom. Okay, so it's not too crazy. Finally, 11. This is the weird one. This is intercept form. All right, intercept. This is also not that bad. It's x minus p, x minus q. The only thing you got to remember is, okay, for this one, this is your P, comma 0, this is your Q, comma 0, and then this is your XY. Alright, even though we've been talking about this being your HK, it can also be as an XY. When I plug things in here, I get 8 equals A, my X is 1, my P is negative 1, so minus negative 1 becomes plus 1, and then 1 minus 3. 8 equals A, 2, negative 2. You are multiplying these, okay? So 8 equals negative 4A. A equals, if I divide both sides by negative 4, I get negative 2. So if I plug that back in, y equals negative 2, x plus 1, x minus 3. And again, same thing, same story as the last one. If they ask you to turn this into standard form, you'd FOIL it out and you'd be good. Okay? Awesome. I know I went kind of quick through that, so I apologize. I'm just trying to get through all the problems. Now, for this last one, okay, or we take a look at graph the system of inequalities. Okay, they are asking you for a lot here. Okay, it's basically the same thing as before. You're gonna get one of these problems, just one. So for my first one, I'm gonna call this 1, this 2. I'm gonna make 2 XY charts. Here's my XY chart for the first one. Here's my XY chart for the second one. Now we still have to remember negative b over 2a. All right. So for my first one, my top one, negative b would be negative 6 over 2 times negative 1. Negative 6 divided by negative 2 is 3. Alright, so that's my AOS for the first one. So move some down here. X equals positive 3. Okay. Build my XY chart. So it's negative parentheses 3 squared plus 6 parentheses 3. We're looking at 9. If I change that 3 to a 4, 8. If I change that 4 to a 5, 5. Alright, so we can transfer all of this down here. We're all good. It does say form. This is in standard form. Okay. Alright. Now, for the second one, if I'm going to do negative x equals negative b over 2a, second one, we're looking at negative of negative 2 over 2 times 1. So 2 divided by 2, 1. There's your AOS. It's still in standard form. Okay. I can build my chart around this. Alright. And if I'm going ahead and plug in my values for this one, it's parentheses 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 1, 0. Change the 1 to a 2. 1. And change this to a 3. Okay, so we're all ready to go. So my first graph is over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 3, 9. 2, 8 is right about there. 4, 8 as such. 5, 5. Okay, and 1, 5. Now, the first one says less than, so it's a dashed line. Okay, I'm going to do a test point. I'm going to do 0, let's say 8, which is up here. So I'm going to test 0, 8. Is 8 less than 0? No. So this point does not work. So that means I'm shading inside of this. Okay, so I'm picking a direction to go in. I'm going to go this way. Okay, that was my first one. Now I'm going to do my second one. So 1, 0. 2, 1, 0, 1, negative 1, 4, and 2, 4. I'm sorry, 3, 4. This is greater than, so it's another dashed line. Okay. 0, 0 is outside of it. So if I do 0, 0, test. 0, 0. Is 0 greater than 1? No. So I don't want to shade outside of it, I want to shade inside of it. So I want where they overlap. Okay. So yes, a lot of work. Take your time on that one. Again, showing all your work gets you tons of partial credit. But yeah, it's nothing different than what you guys did before. So if you just follow those simple steps, you'll be in great shape. So take your time, ask questions. Okay, if you need help, just let me know. Keep up the good work, and as always, good luck. We're all counting on you.